Discussions of ethics, social justice, and cultural sensitivity, the concept of impact over intent has been at the center of the cultural zeitgeist for over a decade. The concept means in moments of interpersonal friction and distress, we should focus on the victim's experience of distress far more than we focus on the offender's initial intention. Essentially, if a person feels hurt, triggered, offended, whatever, we should validate their experience as opposed to questioning why they feel what they feel. Let me first say, the logic behind this approach is simple. If we value intent, if every time someone gets hurt, we explain away the pain by focusing on the intended impact, then ignorance becomes a one-size-fits-all scapegoat for negative and destructive behavior. If intention leads, the schoolyard bully gets away with verbally assaulting his or her peers because they think it's funny. The male manager gets away with sexual harassment because he's just trying to give a compliment. And members of the majority group can get away with appropriating key components of another culture under the guise of entertainment. But it is important to see that a complete shift in favor of the wounded party has undeniably harmful consequences. The obvious concern is that individual sensitivity, which is driven by personality, experience, environmental factors, even biology, is exceptionally subjective. And when we try to curtail societal behavior to avoid all individual sensitivity, we create a very limited and constrained existence that is devoid of any authenticity. But here's the thing, this should not be a this or that issue. It's not impact instead of intent, and it's not intent instead of impact. Yes, impact matters. Yes, intent matters. But more than both of those things, the objective truth matters. What actually happened matters. And here's the thing. Everybody agrees with me. Doesn't seem like it on social media, but everybody agrees with me. Let me prove it to you. I got the urge to make this video last night because I had a fight with my wife. I said something innocuous and she reacted in a totally unhinged way. She was screaming, yelling, crying. She was so emotional. It was such an unreasonable reaction. Let me pause that story. What is the one thing you want to know? You want to know what I said. You want to know, was her reaction actually an outsized reaction? You want to know because you're going to decide whether or not what I said was truly innocuous. You believe that there is an objective truth, and we all do. By the way, the fight didn't really happen, just to be clear. So in this way, to me, it's obvious that it's more than just impact versus intent. But why does it really matter? Is it really that bad if we validate victims? Like, what's the problem in that? It's not just about accountability. By ignoring the most important factor, what actually happened, we are distorting how people learn to interact. Humans are socialized through feedback and comparison. Pro-social behaviors are validated by people in our environment, and destructive behaviors are criticized by the people closest to us. We need that feedback. For example, I know that people don't like it when I interrupt them because when I've done it in the past, I've been chastised for it. I know when my jokes are funny because I listen for laughs. Humans are dependent on timely and accurate feedback to shape our social interactions and behaviors. Precise feedback is key for social learning. But when we focus solely on impact, we quickly erode any opportunity for accuracy. Injured parties can learn that all emotional reactions are both reasonable and appropriate when they're not. And the offending party may learn that pro-social behaviors are offensive and damaging when in truth, they're not. In both cases, we are preventing the involved individuals from effectively calibrating and learning from their behaviors and emotions. Now, what is especially frustrating about all of this is the disingenuous behavior of mental health professionals. We are the people that are responsible for taking a sobered look at society. We have to share our research. We have to share our values. We have to share our perspectives, even when they are unpopular. Otherwise, we undermine our value to society. In public and on social media, psychologists, therapists, social workers, mental health professionals in general are overtly in favor of the impact over intent model. But behind closed doors, when working with clients, they move quickly to an objective analysis of both behaviors and thoughts. Think about this. The most studied therapeutic approach is cognitive behavior therapy, CBT. CBT is focused on adjusting unhelpful thoughts, adjusting unhelpful behaviors so that we can improve our mood or emotional experience. The cornerstone of the most popular therapeutic orientation is the sober evaluation of our interpretation of the environment and the accurate and pragmatic assessment of our behaviors. We need to understand what we think and evaluate whether or not it's accurate, and we need to understand how we behave and evaluate whether or not it's good or bad. In my mind, it is impossible for mental health professionals to believe that and then truly also believe that impact is more important than intention. But you won't find any mental health professionals online that are questioning this cultural movement. And I do genuinely believe that we, as a profession, will not be taken seriously. We so badly want to be a science. We don't want to be a soft science. We want to be a science. We are never going to be viewed and respected like a science if we can't stand up for what we believe and stand behind our research. I really feel that way. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thank you so much for listening.